Welcome back to the Out of Bounds Sports Show. Kind of stumbled right there, but I'm here with Chris. I'm back as Ahmed.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up, boys? We're gonna talk about the ultimate winners of each conference. We're gonna talk about who challenges the Warriors because we know they're the winners, but who challenges them, if anything. And we're gonna talk about who comes out of Eastern Conference, wide open conference, a lot of talent. I think 4 or 5 teams that have actually a chance of getting out of the Eastern Conference. So we're gonna start with the West first. Seeding wise, it's Warriors, Nuggets, and Thunder. Then it's Blazers, and then down in the 10th seed it's the Lakers. And those are our five. Those are our 5 teams that we see moving on. The Spurs just not enough experience. The Nuggets, I don't think they have enough experience either, but they're still a 2nd seed nonetheless. Kings not going to challenge. Who else are we talking about here? That's really it, right? Mm-hmm. No, the Pelicans not gonna do anything.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Should have accepted the trade, man.
They would have actually made the playoffs if they would have pulled the trigger on something. But all right,
we'll see.
We know what happened.
So, I think the Thunder are gonna challenge the Warriors to go to the finals. Ahmed thinks the Thunder.
I say Oklahoma City has the best chance to take down Golden State.
And I believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are the only team that can actually legitimately compete with the Golden State Warriors.
Because they're LeBron-led?
Because of LeBron James.
LeBron-led.
Because of number 23.
100%.
Well, I mean, when you get...
Can I clarify that, though?
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that the Oklahoma City Thunder and those other teams cannot compete with the Warriors. I'm just saying that for the best chance to beat them, I will take LeBron James-led team.
And a 7-game series.
And I'm not saying that the Lakers will beat the Warriors. I don't think they will. But I'm saying give them the best chance.
That's a given.
I think LeBron James has the best chance.
Listen, this is why I say the Thunder. We're going to get really into the basketball side of things here. The Warriors have depth, and their depth isn't like any other depth in the league. You have depth, and it's not flashy depth. It's not depth you can look at like, whoa, nasty. No, it's not like that. It's quality depth. It's like you see that team, and you don't know how they're going to play until they get on the court, and they're nice. The Thunder, on the other hand, we kind of see what they're made of. A different team this year. They're more of a team this year. Paul George is feeding off of Westbrook's evolution, and coming off the bench, they can back up Steven Adams. They can back up Russell Westbrook for a few minutes. They can back up Jeremy Grant starts, right? So
yes.
Markieff Morris, he can help in that front court as well with stretching the floor. Kind of knows how to play good defense. So I give them that chance just because they're on a run. And when a team like the Thunder, I get it. The history with like Westbrook being just a ball hog, a ball stopper. Yeah, exactly. But he's different. I feel like if they take that momentum they have this into the playoffs, they can beat the Kings. They can beat the Spurs if they match up. They can beat teams like the Blazers. And talk about the Blazers. It always comes down. They're like the new Clippers, right? They challenge, and in the end of games they can't close them out because they don't know how to play good defense.
Yep.
Nurkic is up there. He's a great offensive powerhouse down low, especially in the new age where he doesn't have many opponents down low. He's good. Damian Lillard, we know what time it is. No pun intended. No, I really didn't even mean that. CJ McCollum, great offensive talent, but you got to blow it up. Melo's not going to help.
We've been saying it for the past 2 years.
Yep.
They need to.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why everyone says the Blazers need that third piece to actually be a competitor in the West.
Off the bench or starting?
Starting.
Like
Like
they've been lacking that forward for a while.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That forward
I
position.
guess they don't have to worry about defense, right? They just need scoring. They don't need scoring, right?
No.
They shouldn't need scoring.
They shouldn't.
Exactly. That's what I'm
They
saying.
need that wing guy that can also guard.
Yeah.
And in terms of the Thunder, going back to that, we see what happened last year, first round of the playoffs, losing in 5 to the Utah Jazz. My question about them is, we've seen teams like this in the regular season all the time. Toronto is like, I feel like Toronto was like the OKC Thunder this season in terms of the way they play regular season. They play great basketball. They come playoff time, they run into a certain guy, a certain team, yes, a LeBron James, and they fold. So I question this into the playoffs because with a guy like Russell Westbrook who's playing out of his mind right now, much respect. A guy like Paul George who's playing at an MVP level, no question about it. History tends to repeat itself. We have seen them in the playoffs time and time again.
Yeah, but history tends
to
repeat itself with no evolution. Same, so the Raptors, no evolution. They just did the same thing every year.
Listen, they are a different team this year. I understand that too.
Oh, they're way better.
Both teams are talking about right now. Thunder and OKC.
Oh, yeah.
Thunder and Raptors. So yeah, they're both different teams, but I need to see it.
Okay, but we see what we see what the Thunder and Raptors are made of, but we're not sure what the Lakers are made of. What do you say to that?
But we know what LeBron James is made of. That's why I say that.
Okay, so you say that he just rubs off on them?
That's what we hope. Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And we can't use the sample size that we're seeing right now. We're talking about a team who was 3rd seed, was 4th seed, Christmas Day. LeBron gets her 18 games. We know the whole story. Sitting 10th seed now. So this is not a legitimate sample size. This is what the Lakers are. Because we were having different discussions on Christmas Day when they're sitting 4th seed, and nobody thought they would be there. So I don't want to hear it now that he comes back. They're still struggling. They just had a bad loss to the Atlanta Hawks. This is not the team you're going to see come April when they are in the playoffs.
Okay, now we get to the mental side of things. You can say, anyone can say this. I can say this. You don't trust the Thunder in a 7-game series sometimes. Different story for the Raptors. We're talking about the West right now. What if this whole mess is rubbing off in a really wrong way? It's going to carry into the playoffs. That matters.
But this is the question. If the Lakers do run into a Golden State Warriors in the first round, it's over. Okay, I'm talking. A successful season for the Lakers at this point would be a competitive second-round series. That is a very successful season, barring what happened with LeBron's injury, the AD trade rumors, all that stuff going public. That is what I believe is success for the Lakers at this point in time.
Okay. The Jazz. Does anyone see the Jazz making noise?
No, not this year. Don't see it at all. Donovan Mitchell isn't the same as first of all. He's not the same. The reason why the Jazz were that far last year was because of Donovan Mitchell.
Sophomore year slump.
Sophomore year slump. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
But I still think they can be in a competitive first round series. And
Yeah, for sure. But as in terms of going deep in the playoffs, no way.
I hope someone is attracted to the Jazz because they're just another small market team who. I mean, Joe Ingles, not a long-term reliability. Rudy Gobert, I think he's peaked. I honestly don't think.
I believe that. I mean, he should have been an All-Star this year.
He should have been.
I'm not gonna lie about that. He's the best defensive player in this game in terms of big men. He is, and we know the whole story about his All-Star snub. But he should have been an All-Star.
I don't think he was a snub. I think Nikola Vucevic deserved a spot.
I'll tell you why.
Vucevic was that's what I said. Vucevic was a snub. He's been playing lights out this year.
Who's Gobert snub for?
Vucevic is an All-Star right now.
Yeah, but who's Gobert snub for? Let's talk about it.
No, but you can't go like that. You got to think of it like this. All these guys in the league, they're always stressing, defense wins championships, all this stuff. And he's the best defensive big in the game. Why isn't he an All-Star? That's all it comes down to. I don't want to hear stuff like that. And then when it comes down to voting and All-Stars and media, all that stuff, and you don't vote the best defensive big man in the league, then it's hypocritical.
Forget Rudy Gobert. How is Devin Booker not an All-Star? The guy's averaging 25, 6, and 7.
We have limited spaces. Come on, seriously, Rudy Gobert. You talk about All-Star, you want to see?
Though.
Yeah, but you talk about All-Star, Rudy Gobert can't shoot 3.
No,
you know who can? Nikola Vucevic.
I know what you're saying, but it's like, but Vucevic is like.
We're talking about entertainment here. All-Star is entertainment. We're not talking about basketball here. We're talking about entertainment.
Well, see, that's not what the NBA says, though.
Exactly.
When you're voting All-Stars, what are they looking at? They're looking at numbers.
Dude,
right?
you know Jeremy Lin was in the running for All-Star, right? What was that for?
I understand that. But, if they want to entertain, why isn't Derrick Rose an All-Star right now? Isn't that a great feel-good story?
It was a feel-good story.
Almost.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But in terms of the NBA inner circle, we hear all this stuff about defense, and he's the best defensive big we have in our league. Why isn't he an All-Star? By the numbers. They love the numbers, the analytics. He should be there. I understand that fans aren't going to vote a guy like him. It's not fun to watch. But the definition of
He's
what
kind
All-Star
of
means...
too, I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm not a Rudy Gobert fan.
That helps, though. That doesn't help. I'm saying fans, when fans know you're a dick, no one's going to vote for you.
And I'm not a Rudy Gobert fan. There's not many Rudy Gobert fans. But in terms of being objective numbers, he should be there.
Does he speak English?
Yeah, no,
Vaguely,
he does. Yeah,
He speaks English, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Is he French, though? Isn't he French?
He's French.
Yeah.
He is, but he speaks English.
But he, when he throws subs at other centers on Twitter in a different language, expecting no one understand it, and then you get called out by someone from your own country and supporting the other player, that's a bad look, right? I'm just saying.
Different language. We see a guy like Joel Embiid throw subs all the time, but we like it, though, right?
Yeah, but he's not salty. He's not a salty dude.
Did you see him today?
Oh yeah, the refs. That's different.
Well, not only the refs, and also you're on the same team with Westbrook. What do you think of that? And bad blood there, my guy. Come on, we like it when he does it, though.
No. Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert. No. There's a difference. Joel Embiid trolls and throws disses at people. Rudy Gobert is he just hates other players.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue that. And Joel Embiid
he does.
He
He
does.
does.
Talk. Joel Embiid
There was
is a way better player than Rudy Gobert. Go ahead.
There was a video 2 weeks ago. The Jazz played the Hawks, and Vince Carter was trying to tell Rudy Gobert, like he was like, trying to give him respect, and Rudy Gobert just kept walking away. He didn't give a crap like who Vince Carter is. Like, you got to show Vince Carter respect. That's a legend in the business, bro. Like, he just kept walking away. He didn't give a shit what he said. That's disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful, straight up.
All right. Speaking of Vince Carter, the Eastern Conference, let's just get to that. Who are we talking about here? We're talking about the
Talking about the big four,
Top four in the
Sixers,
East. Top four in the
Boston,
East. I'm pretty sure
Toronto,
everyone in the world has the same top four in the East.
Milwaukee, yeah.
But the question is, who's the top
Pacers
two?
out of it? Are the Pacers out of
Pacers are not in the top four.
it?
Come
Out
on.
of it?
Once Victor Oladipo went down, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So we know who the top four is
But
already.
they would have made noise if he was healthy.
Nah, for sure they would have. They would
So we're
have.
talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Boston Celtics,
Toronto
and the
Raptors.
Raptors. That's the race in the East. That will be your semifinal matchups. And so I believe Omar has Toronto coming out the East.
I think Ahmed does too.
And Ahmed.
I have Toronto. No. I have Toronto and the Philly making the conference finals, and I have Philly coming out of the East.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Philly coming out of the East from Ahmed. He got Toronto. I have Boston. Explain yourself.
Well, you go ahead. You segue. Just go ahead and talk about
Okay,
Celtics.
fine. Okay, so I stand firmly with Boston. Now, I totally understand the context of this. A team who took, let's bring it back, took a LeBron James-led team to 7 games without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, and now they get Kyrie and Gordon Hayward back healthy this season, and it doesn't look the same. They're not meshing, all that. But I can't help but understand what I saw last season, right? And understanding what a Kyrie Irving brings to the table. And the regular season, teams like this all the time. They're in the hunt. What are they? 4th seed right now. The Celtics. They don't need to get that 1st, 2nd, 3rd seed. That doesn't mean a team like the Celtics just get them into the playoffs. They'll walk through the first round, stuff like that. And
Yeah, but the regular season, it's very few teams that you can say change in the playoffs. The Warriors change in the playoffs. The Lakers hopefully change in the playoffs. The
they
Cavs
make
changed in the playoffs. Who changed? The Hawks? No, not the Hawks. What am I talking about? Yeah, the Hawks were in the playoffs a couple years ago. They were not the same team in the regular season.
and it's also a different game in the playoffs, though.
Well,
And
in
that
that case, if we don't know what the Celtics are going to be made of.
But that experience that a Tatum, a Jalen Brown had last season, and we're talking about a guy in Kyrie Irving who has been in the highest leverage moments you could possibly be in basketball. I trust that, and I didn't even bring it up. Brad Stevens, head coach. Listen, come playoff time, it's all about adjustments, and honestly, 99% of the time, he's going to outcoach you. So.
You said experience, but Ben Simmons and Embiid, that was their first time making the playoffs last year too, and now they have experience, and this is their second year. So I have my, but you go
No,
first.
go ahead.
I'll see.
Raptors are the ideal team in the league. That's just what it is, right? It doesn't matter what we're talking about, predictions or not, but in my case, that's how they're gonna make it. They have a passer in Kyle Lowry. They have a go-to scorer in Kawhi Leonard and Pascal Siakam. They have a go-to guy down low in Marc Gasol, who although is sometimes a liability on defense, he just comes up with some stuff out of nowhere sometimes. It's kind of fun to watch. But then guys in the middle, right? OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell still comes in, does his job. Norman Powell's underrated. He is. Him and Josh Richardson were actually in the same round, and it's crazy to see like that he's still not getting the recognition he deserves.
He doesn't at all.
I feel like just because of that, man, like they just gel so well. Even without Kawhi Leonard, they run through teams.
Yes.
And it's not like they were a light schedule. We're talking about, remember the Sixers won on 16 games and it was just the trash teams? No, the Raptors were facing tough
We
teams.
saw this last season too, though,
With who?
with the Raptors.
With the Raptors?
Yeah, they're better this season, obviously, with the Kawhi Leonard. But we saw this, and they sung this song before. Like we see this for the past 3-4 seasons.
The thing is, they don't have to go through.
You're absolutely right. But like I always say, I hate to keep saying, but I do want to see it though. But this is a first time thing. This is the first season we have them like this. So it's not like we have a sample size from them coming with Kawhi Leonard second season. Same thing with Boston, but it is questionable.
I have a question for you. If let's say LeBron was on the Lakers last year, and the Raptors played the same way they played last year, and they had to go up against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, you think they could beat Boston last year in the Eastern Conference Finals?
No, I think Boston would have won that. Because the Raptors were not they didn't have that same, because Kyle Lowry was still scoring point guard. It's literally a year's difference. Kyle Lowry wasn't trying to pass the ball last year as much. Like Kyle Lowry was going to drop 30 last year. This year he can drop.
No, he
15.
changed the way he played for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, he'll do 15 and 15 instead of 20 and 5 now. You know what I'm trying to say? So it does make a big difference.
Yeah.
Celtics were hot last year.
Yeah.
They were hot, and the Sixers were
They
overrated.
rode that hot streak. Like they weren't supposed to be there. But what we saw was a team that was just in an insane rhythm. Guys playing at the top of confidence, and that's why they got so far. And I think that's why we don't see that this year because a guy like Kyrie comes back, and it is his team, and these guys were like, wait, but look what we did without you.
Exactly.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
So I think come playoff time, they're gonna be like, okay, let's defer a little bit, and that's where I think they'll make their run.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you this about the Sixers. They rode a 16-game win streak, and that was the case by Ben Simmons fans, right? Okay, play trash teams. They were lucky they played the Heat in the first round. They were lucky. That Heat team was
series
not good.
was pretty
5
competitive.
games.
It
Not
was
competitive. It was 5 games.
But the games.
No, the games were close though. The games
exactly.
were like, yeah.
The games were competitive.
Game 1, 2, game 2 and 4.
Nah, listen, I'm gonna say this. I honestly, my team, I think it depends on the seedings. Because Philly, they struggle on the road in the playoffs. Like, they cannot win a game on the road in the playoffs. They have a history of that. Like, last year, who did they lose to second round? They lost to who did they lose to last
Who,
year?
the Sixers?
Yeah.
Boston.
They didn't win one game in Boston. They can't, they struggle on the road a lot. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, but they're playing better on the road this year, right?
Well,
No.
now they're a totally
They're
different team.
they're the best team at home this year. That's what I'm saying. If they
You
can,
sure?
yeah, they're the best team at home this year. That's what I'm saying. If they get a good seeding in the Eastern Conference Finals, Eastern Conference, I think they can make it deep for sure. I think they can win the East.
We know these teams. It's pretty obvious these teams are going to be the top 4.
For sure.
After that, making it deep is just one more round. So the real question is, who is in the East Conference Finals?
Well, listen, it might actually come down to little details.
As it should.
Yeah, the Sixers are gonna have to bring a scorer off the bench, and Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris are perfect options for that. I don't think Jimmy Butler or Tobias Harris mind that. Do you guys agree or disagree? with that?
No. I don't know.
Jimmy Butler, for the sake of the team, would come off the bench to be a scoring option.
I
They
think
have no
he
one off
should.
the
I
bench.
think he should. Or Tobias Harris, like you said
Of
before.
course.
One
TJ
Jimmy
McConnell.
Butler come off the bench?
No, Tobias
No,
Harris.
Either one.
That would
Either
never
one.
happen.
No, either one.
Promise
No,
you.
no. I see Jimmy Butler accepting a bench role in the playoffs.
Nah, Jimmy.
Accepting a
nah,
bench role? Hell
Nah,
no.
Jimmy
Yeah,
Butler.
no.
No.
Yes, you do.
Bro,
Hell no.
Jimmy
What?
Butler, his attitude. I don't think he's gonna. Like,
You kidding me?
Tobias
No.
Harris, on the other hand, I think he'll do it.
Of course, Tobias Harris, not Jimmy
You
Butler.
don't see Jimmy Butler accepting a role off the bench at all for the sake
What-
of
what
winning.
have you seen from
for the
Jimmy
sake of
Butler?
winning the Eastern Conference Finals?
What have you seen from Jimmy Butler that gives you the notion that he can accept a different role? He wanted to leave a team because these young guys.
Because they were this is not a team.
Nah, but
But they're still young guys.
Yeah.
He thinks in his head it's his team. In Jimmy Butler's head it's his
those
team.
young guys on the Wolves are not the young guys he's playing with now. We're talking about
100%.
historic young guys
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
better than them, and he still thinks he's the guy.
He doesn't
In
think
his
he's the
head,
guy.
Yes, he does.
No, he just wants the
think-
ball.
No, listen, you have 3 guys on that team that think it's their team. Okay, Ben
Okay.
Simmons thinks it's his team.
Embiid.
Joel Embiid, hell yes, thinks it's his
Embiid,
team.
yeah, for sure.
And Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler, with his mindset, he definitely thinks he's the guy.
I disagree, but at the end of the day, it's not up to him. It's up to the coach.
The
It's
idea
up
of him
to
coming to the
coach.
bench, that'll never happen, ever. He won't let it happen.
No, it's a possibility. But Brett Brown, it's up to him, not Jimmy Butler.
If
We're
anyone's
talking
coming
about
to the bench, it's
you're talking about
Tobias Harris.
you're talking about potential Eastern Conference team, Eastern Conference Finals team. You're talking about that. Brett Brown is not a coach who gives in to players. We're not doing that. Brett Brown is a tough guy. He comes from Greg Popovich's coaching tree.
yeah, yep.
Like we're talking about.
But if they also want any chance of keeping a Jimmy Butler, you don't.
Well, that's why they picked up both of them. Elton Brand knows he can't afford both of them.
Listen, but like a team like that who just went all in, they really, like we were just saying off camera, they should.
They're not gonna get both of them though.
I'm not saying that.
Wait,
but
they're
in terms
both
of
free agents at the end of the season, right? Both of
Yes.
them, yeah. Jimmy Butler and
Yes.
Tobias. Okay.
But in terms of Philly as a franchise, there's no reason why they don't make the
The
finals.
Sixers would rather have Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler in the locker room. Just saying.
Well, we
Yeah.
all know that.
I think Tobias Harris is a better fit in that lineup rather than Jimmy
That's my
Butler.
point.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is a locker room.
So
cancer.
what? So what
Exactly.
if Jimmy Butler comes off the bench in the playoffs? He's gone, regardless.
That
But
see
they
now.
don't know that right now. And they don't want to accept that right now.
Okay, but
No,
we're
that's the
talking.
truth of
Okay,
it.
but still, I'm going back to my point about the coach. It's his decision. We don't care what the players think at this point. If the Sixers want any chance of winning the Eastern Conference Finals, they have to sit either one of those guys and let TJ McConnell feed them the ball. off
Because
the
that bench isn't going to cut it. It's
exactly. That's just my point.
not. So yeah, it would be a smart decision to put one of them on the bench for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you got to
Only
make
person
adjustments.
That's coming off the bench is Tobias Harris, if any chance. I promise you that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Jimmy
that's
Butler,
just-
Jimmy Butler's gonna cry about it, bro. If
course.
he's
He will start. He will start a fire in the middle.
Yeah,
in the middle
exactly.
of a playoff
I
series.
think you guys are busting his chops too much. I think Jimmy Butler he's a smarter guy. He's a smarter guy than people talk about him in the news. Like
Ego's a big thing.
No,
That's
I
all
know
I'm gonna
ego's
say.
a big thing, but when you have ego, you're talking about a guy who really wants to win, right?
That's what
Does
he
he want to
says.
win?
That's what he says.
He does want. Who doesn't want to win? Jimmy
just saying
Butler.
that's what he
Jimmy
says.
Butler. Jimmy Butler was homeless and became an NBA player. How
No,
does he
it's a
not
great
want to win?
basketball story.
How does he not want to
Of
win?
course
though?
it's a great basketball
But
story.
he wants to win, right?
I understand, but he also wants to win on his own terms, though. That's why he's in his third team in the past 4 years.
Fred Hoiberg was not a
Nah,
good coach.
Fred Hoiberg was a
he
terrible
did not
coach.
use him right. Then you go to a Wolves team. We talk about this. You go to a Wolves team that just wasn't in it to win it. That's different situations, man. Come on.
I understand that.
It's not the same situation in the Sixers. Is you have so many talented players and you're gonna butt heads, right? We said this about the Warriors when they first got together, right? We talked about this. We said the Warriors are gonna butt heads. No one knows who's gonna have the ball. Blah 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 blah. We'll see what happens with the Sixers. But I'm just saying, when people bring up those situations, I feel like you're invalid in doing that because those situations he did not instigate those. He did not. Well, no, he instigated them, but it didn't come about because he was an egotistical dude. It came about because there was issues around him. There's no issues around him here. The only issue he has to deal with is just accepting the fact, and I don't care. I don't know if he accepts it or not, but all I'm saying is he has to accept the fact that there are 2 other stars on the team. That's not the same as playing with Joel. That's not the same thing as saying Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns is not playing down low, or doesn't have the heart to post up against someone like Boogie Cousins. It's not the same thing as saying Andrew Wiggins, Ben Simmons is not giving enough on offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ben Simmons is a passer too. You got to think about that. It's not like Ben Simmons is looking to score the ball. In the playoffs, Ben Simmons is going to be looking to be more of a passer because, like we said, half-court offenses, et cetera, et cetera. Last year, he did the same thing. He was a passive player. I think he's...
Well, it's going to be harder for him in the playoffs because it's not up and down like we talked about. It's more half-court.
No.
And
but he's still gifted in half-court set.
I understand that, but if you watch the Lakers game the other night, like, LeBron's guarding him legit in the key. It's like, how can a guy get in a half-court set really be that effective? Like, listen, he's a great facilitator, all that, but he cannot shoot a jump shot for his life.
Yeah, okay.
And that's gonna hurt them.
We talked about 3 teams. We forgot about Milwaukee, man. Milwaukee's the best. Record-wise, they're the best team in the league right now. Well, record-wise, they are. Record-wise. Bro, you can laugh all you want right now.
This is a team who I legit said last week that the addition of Nikola Mirotic makes them serious.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Mirotic has a big addition right there. He's a stretch big, could shoot.
Okay, so why don't none of us have him in our conference finals?
That's a great question.
Coming out of the East, sorry.
It's just a lack of experience with Giannis, I believe. And Giannis, who honestly I believe is the MVP,
Mhm,
should
same.
win it this year. And like I said, Mike Budenholzer, head coach, one of the greatest pickups this summer. It's another situation. Like, we have a lot of guys. Giannis obviously is the guy. You had a Mirotic, you have a Brook Lopez playing probably the best since his Brooklyn Net days. I think even better. Why
Yeah, better,
not?
for
Yeah,
sure.
it's just I think just the lack of experience up front with your superstar.
So can you compare them to the Rockets because you have one guy dominant and then Eric Gordon, I guess, like Nikola Mirotic, and then Chris Middleton, like who on the Rockets? Gerald Green, let's say. Like,
Nah,
just
Chris
two-
Middleton, he's an all-star, bro.
I know that. I know. Nah,
Yeah,
really?
and him, I didn't even bring up
Is
his
he
name.
really?
He's an
Is
all-star.
Chris Middleton really an all-star?
This year, yeah, he is.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right?
But
Like,
that also comes with that team. Its team success is really why I believe Middleton is there.
Exactly.
You have to. And then you
It's
just
a system.
You just asked why isn't Devin Booker an all-star? But look at his team.
yeah, but he's not
They
a
have-
coveted
they-
player.
they
That's
have
part of why
13 wins.
he's there. You know, he's not coveted.
Your team success also helps your all-star case, obviously.
At the end of the day, bro, the East, it's gonna be fun to watch.
The East
It's gonna
this
be.
year is.
It's fun to watch.
Thanks to LeBron for this. Because now we have an actual Eastern Conference playoffs that's
all this,
super
all this,
competitive.
all this is because of LeBron. Yeah.
shifting power.
You know what would have been really interesting if all of this happened and LeBron was still on
Let me
Cleveland.
explain something.
That would have been interesting.
None of this would
Wait,
happen.
say it again.
If LeBron was still on the Cavs and like this, all these teams had what they have right now, all these pieces like Kawhi
they
Leonard,
would.
Toronto.
They would.
They wouldn't.
Yeah, they would.
None of
Besides
this would
Toronto.
happen.
Besides Toronto.
Does Philly go all in with LeBron still in the East?
Um.
That's my question. No. they
Well, no,
don't.
we don't know that because Elton Brand wasn't GM last year.
Still, I talked about this last week. I don't believe these teams make these moves knowing LeBron James is still in the Eastern Conference. LeBron going west, like, okay, we all have a chance now. That's why Philly goes all in. That's why Milwaukee's making moves. We see Boston waiting this summer. We see Boston even getting healthy guys now. And Toronto, of course, with right when LeBron leaves.
I mean,
they
we're
go
only
after
talking about
Kawhi
one team
Leonard.
that changed, though. We're only talking about one team. That's the Phillies, the Sixers. That's it. The Bucks were nice, with or without
Listen,
Nikola
the
Mirotic.
Bucks were different. The Bucks did it a different way, though. They just got like Giannis just got that much
It's
better.
just-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
and
what
the
I'm-
coaching change and all that, but they're just playing better basketball, and the defense is leading that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess none of us change each other's mind. That's not the point.
We
of
agree
this.
to
That's not the point
disagree
of
in
this.
this situation.
Yep.
100%.
All right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we all got one same thought. The Eastern Conference is going to be fun to watch in the
It will.
playoffs.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
bro. I've been
100%.
saying this for a while. I love it.
It's a different.
I love it.
Thank you,
bro.
LeBron James.